Whoa. Damn. Hey. Damn. This is my entire PlayStation 2 collection. Anyway, I was going through them, trying to decide what ones I'm going to sell and trying to price chart everything now just to keep a bit of a value check on it. Are you chewing that again? Why are you doing that? So I'm going through my PS2 collection and just price charting eBay, just checking all the prices, similar to what I was doing with the PlayStation 4. And I've got a couple piles of games here, of games that I thought were pretty cool. Some are monsters and are worth a fair amount of money. But yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of PS2 games, and they're not even the piles of games that are worth a lot of money. These are just the ones I went through that aren't worth as much money. We got 4 pretty big stacks, and like I said, that's not including the other stacks. Hey Sandy. Let's have a look finally at the properly expensive ones, around $50 and above. So it's time to crack in to the most expensive PS2 games that I have. The first two I want to show you are these two, Fighting Angels and Splattermaster. Now these two games, there's not solds for them that are worth that much, $20 max, but I did notice a rise in the listing prices. I seen listings for Splattermaster for $50 to $70. It's just a little pumpkin dude with his chainsaw. Super fun game actually, kind of 8-bit style, pretty cool. And then Fighting Angels I seen for $65 to $75. Now in this game you are hot chicks fighting each other. That's cool. No rules apparently, but that's what that is. But yeah, old school games. Anyway, there's just 2 cool ones to start you off with that you might not have seen before. Now, the next game I'm going to talk about is Ultimate Spider-Man. Now, personally, this is one of my more favorite PS2 games. I loved all the old school PS2 games. I think my favorite was probably Shattered Dimensions on PS3. It was really good. But yeah, this one, still a pretty cool one. Unfortunately, I don't have the manual for this one, but that's okay. There was listed for this ones from around 50 to 80, but they weren't selling for that much, which is usually the case with these older games. And solds were about $40 to $50, but it's a pretty good game. So definitely would pay that much for this one. Up next, we have Ratchet and Clank Size Matters. Now this game, I've seen listed for about 40 to 50. As you can see, the original price was like 80. So that's pretty crazy. It's one of the later Ratchet and Clank games, I believe. The solds were about the same though. So 40 to 50 listed, 40 to 50 for the solds. But yeah, it's a really cool title. Is it as good as some of the other Ratchet and Clanks? I don't believe so, but still a really cool game. Okay, you can say hello. Hello. This next one you probably may not have heard before. I'm still can't even remember what it's about, but it is Trapped. Look, honestly, I don't really even remember much about this game. Looks like you're in a dungeon somewhere. Got a pendulum down here. Hot girls, as always in these old games. There's always a hot girl. There was listed for this game going for about $50 to $80. So a bit of a mixed bag, 50 to 80. It does look really cool though. The solds, however, were about 40 to 50, which is still pretty good. I mean, for a game that I personally can't even remember or haven't heard of, so 40 to 50, pretty good. It is pretty cool to me that games that I played when I was like 10 are now worth like $50. I paid less for some PS5 games that I've owned and played. For example, Spider-Man, I haven't played that since I was like 10. And for the next game we're going to talk about, it is The Thing. Now, at the moment, I'm pretty sure I could only see one listing for this game, and it was at like $80. There might have been a couple between 60 to 80, but I'm pretty sure $80 was where this game was at. Now, that's definitely not what the solds were going for. The solds were going from around $40 to $60 for this, and look, I personally haven't even played this game, or maybe I did back in the day. But yeah, 40 to 60 seems like a pretty scary game. I don't know if I'm really into playing that. Definitely a cool game for the collection. I don't know yet whether I'm going to keep this. I was considering selling it. The next game that I want to talk about is 10,000 Bullets. I don't know if you've ever heard of this game, and personally, I think I've just collected this game. I've never played this game, so I don't even know what it's about. I have no idea who these characters are. I have no idea if it's any good. The listeds for this game were going between, $50 to $80. I have no idea if it's worth that much. It does look like a pretty cool game though, and maybe I might have to give it a go. Solds were between 60 and 70. So you might have to let me know in the comments down below what this game's about, if it is actually that good or if it's worth that much. But like I said, personally, I have no idea about this game. But let's move on. This next game is a really cool one. It is Sly Raccoon #1. But this is a very fun game. Personally, it's not one of my favorite games, but I know that it still is quite a fun game. I haven't played it in a long time. So I've seen some sold for like $65, but the highest ones up there were between 80, 90, 100. So if I was going to sell this, I'm definitely aiming for that higher range. I think this is a pretty good copy of it. Let me know what you think about this game in the comments, but I definitely believe that this is a really good game. And would I pay $90 for it now? Probably not. We're up to the top 3 PlayStation 2 games that I have that are worth a significant amount more than every game we've just gone through. And it's time that we reveal number 3, Metal Slug Anthology for the PS2. Now, if you haven't played Metal Slug, it is a 2D platform shooter game. It's like 8-bit style, and this is the anthology version. As you can see, it does have a number of games on there. There's the inside of it, pretty clean. All the listed copies of this game were going from around anywhere between $100 to $150. That is a lot for a PlayStation 2 game. That is just insane to me. Now the solds though were going from anywhere between $85, and there was even some I've seen for $145. $145 for this game? That is insane. Somebody is willing to pay that much for this game. Would you do it? Same thing as before, I would not pay that much for this game now. But it is a really cool one to have in the collection. Number 2 in the top 3 is a very cool game, and it is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 Mutant Nightmare. My copy's got a few marks on it. I also don't have the manual, so worth a little bit less. But all of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle games are pretty fun on PS2. I've got a couple of them. This is easily the most expensive though. So the listeds for this at the moment are all around 100, 150, which is insane. Leo, Rafa, Michelangelo, Donnie. Good times in this game. Really fun game. All of them are really good. All of these games are good. The solds for this game are still up there at around $130. That is crazy. I had no idea how much some of these games were. I was like, I'll just go through them. I'll just have a look. see what ones are more expensive because I'm going to try and sell most of them. But yeah, insane find in my own collection. Could sell it for 130. Really cool game. Let's crack into number 1. The most expensive game in my PS2 collection, and I don't think anyone could guess what it is, and it is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone on PlayStation 2. I don't know why this game is worth so much. I had this recently on the PS2. The gameplay I thought was horrible. Even when I was younger, I thought this game was horrible. Please, somebody explain to me why this game is worth so much. Is it just collectability? I have no idea. I thought it's not a good game. Not a good game. I've seen listeds for this game for around $120 to $160. Now that is crazy for a PlayStation 2 game. Absolutely crazy. It is pretty cool to have in a collection. Would you pay that much just to have a game in your collection? But the sold ones were around 80 to 140. So depending on the copy, you could get anywhere from 80 to $140, or I could. I mean, my case has a markup here, but it's fully complete, manual and disc. Pretty good. Really good nick for such an old game. When I did my PS4 video, I couldn't understand why Deadpool was the most expensive game. And now I'm left at the same feeling again. How is this game the most expensive in my collection? That is my most expensive game in my PlayStation 2 collection. It's pretty cool to have, even though I don't think it is the greatest game and that the gameplay is okay and the graphics aren't that good. These 3 are my most expensive PlayStation 2 games. All really cool games. My favorite out of these 3, definitely this one, by a lot. I'd love for you to let me know your most expensive PlayStation 2 game, or the one you like the most out of all of mine. If you want to see more stuff like this, of me going through my collection, all these PS2 games, you got all these games in the back here. If you want to see more, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace! Stop going crazy. Stop going crazy. Stop going crazy. It's not that many PS2 games.